But it looks like the key thing we've been talking about now is increasing awareness. And it makes me wonder, what practical steps can we take to increase the awareness, to make more people know of the need of our elderly? Because like Mr. Kazim said, sometimes people by default, the senior citizens are being abused by people who don't think that's what they're doing. They don't recognize that the behavior, shouting, for instance, at an elderly person with hearing difficulties, you shouldn't even shout at anyone in the first place. It's disrespectful. So it's, how do we make people increasingly aware that these are abusive behaviors? And I don't know if Ms. Grillo would like to shed some light on that, please.
Hello? So, sorry, please, could you come again?
Oh, no, I was saying there's been a lot of talk about awareness, and sometimes when people are being abusive to senior citizens, they're not even aware that what they're doing is abusive. You gave an example earlier on about people, for instance, shouting at an elderly person who has hearing difficulties. Now, regardless of hearing difficulties or not, people shouldn't even be shouting at others. But it's now worse to someone who's vulnerable. So I was wondering, what practical steps do you think we could actually take to increase the awareness of these abusive behaviors?
Okay, like, yeah, you were right when I said quite a number of people are ignorant. And the only way out is we need to continue to talk to one another, make, it's a case of communication all the time. When we see people that are being abused, we need to make examples and let them know. For instance, let's start with our domestic staff. You know, quite a number of us hire this domestic staff for our parents. And these domestic staffs, whether you like it or not, all they need to do is, oh, my salary is coming at the end of the month, and I don't care whether the children are near me, I will do whatever I like within the home. When we're even hiring domestic staff for our parents, we need to even talk to staffing agencies. If you're sending, like you said, it's not even normal to shout at anybody. So now, not to talk of an older person. So staffing agencies need to take up trainings when it comes to, oh, you're going into an older person's home. This is how you should communicate. This is how you should relate. This is what you should do. And these are the areas you could help the elderly person live a meaningful life in their later years. So we need to talk to these agencies as well. And in our religious organizations as well, we have where there are groups of older women, like in the Baptist, they have the WMU, they have the MMU, where there are older people there, they have the senior citizens unit. So these are areas where we can talk and let people know that, oh, our older people are actually special people that need special care. Not in quote to make them feel that, oh, why are people doting on me? But just to show that we care enough for them and let people that are in charge know that these are the right things to do. These are not the right things to do. Let's bring that consciousness back to everybody, every individual that has to come in contact with older adults. Also, excuse me, in our schools, gone are the days when, primary schools used to, I don't know if they still do civics studies in primary schools and secondary schools and all of that. You could, introduce this also to children. Oh, when you see an older person, this is what you should do. Help them to do this, help them climb the staircase. If you meet them in the bank, if you meet them in open spaces, allow them to, do their activity first before you come back. If you find them standing up on it with a walking stick and if there's a chair there, stand on for. So these are ways that we can educate one another on how to care for our older adults and, reduce the scourge of elder abuse in the society.
Thank you so much. I have to say that was so deep. So your line went off, and Ms. Grillo was just sharing with us practical steps we can take. And honestly, I thought that was really powerful because she's mentioned staffing agencies. And I know things like getting references is not something that we usually will do with getting domestic staff. A lot of people, they might even be relatives who are not educated, and so they don't have that. And you use the word, I had to write it down in capital letters, consciousness. So bringing it to the awareness of our community that these behaviors are abusive. Then she mentioned religious organizations, so that this awareness of how to treat elderly people with respect is broadcast in every setting. So religious organizations, because people respect our religious leaders. So if they embraced respect for the elderly, it would be easier to disseminate that into the community. And then she mentioned school curriculum. I don't know if you would want to put all this into a book, but thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And these are the things we need to know. These are the things we need to carry out into the society as well. Awareness days like these are opportunities for us to go into the community to say, this is how we can bring this, bring the practical aspect of supporting our causes into the community, whether it be schools, whether churches, mosques, or community, even the local